Kyra Burns. We'll take the opening statement from Coach and then open it up to questions.
Well, thank you guys all for coming for Just Gymnastics. I appreciate that. No, I'm kidding. So, but thank you all for coming and your interest in Mizzou athletics and especially Mizzou Gymnastics. We're super excited about the level of talent and the culture that we've built here at University of Missouri, and very thankful to our administration for the support they've given us. And we're excited about the new era and the will to win era, we'll call it, moving forward. And we are really just appreciative to be a part of that.
Raise your hand for questions.
Yes.
Coach, with the evolving landscape of NIL, as you kind of mentioned, with the will to win and stuff like that, how has that impacted recruiting on your end, the NIL deals and stuff like that, or just like overall as a coach, like how have you seen it impact the sport and athletics?
Yeah, well, we're a little bit in transition, obviously, from, I feel like we've been in transition for a few years here with how all this is coming down and evolving as well. All I know is this, is that we've been able to be in front of things, and it's really impacted us in a tremendously, I think, positive way. I mean, we have what's quoted as the #1 transfer portal class in the country this year, along with a great freshman class, and I think a lot of those things we've just been able to we've been able to be adaptable and use those to our advantage. So we're excited about it. I have only reasons to be positive with some of the information moving forward, to thinking that we're going to be in one of the best positions of any team in the country moving forward. So a lot of that stuff isn't quite finalized yet on how we're going to kind of roll it out moving forward into the 2025 season, but I'm sure we're going to do a great job with it.
Coach, how do you feel about Amari Celestine doing the all-around this year?
I feel great about that. So, yeah, I think she's excited to be back over there. And, we were able to do a lot of work in the off season, just getting her body a little bit stronger and preparing her for that possibility. And so, yeah, we're excited to have another option in the all-around. I would say this, is it's really hard to make the all-around now. It's much harder to make the all-around on our team now than it was maybe 2-3 years ago. Sienna Schreiber did it, was, potentially one of the, I don't know if we'll ever see another one of those again, quite honestly. And that's a good thing, because our team's gotten so much stronger. It's just hard to be in that top 6 week in and week out. But I certainly think Miss Amari has a great shot at showing being in the all-around this year.
Coach, with Helen coming back, I'm sure you've been asked this in some capacity before, but one, how big is it to have her back? And then two, just what did the conversations look like around her return and being able to do that?
Yeah, awesome. Well, you guys, we have an open intra squad on Saturday from 10 to noon, and if you want to get a glimpse of Helen, she'll be there. We're fortunate that we have a couple of days a month that she's allowed to train with our team. And we've took advantage of this one, and so she'll be there on Saturday. So, yeah, really excited. I mean, I think that speaks volumes to Helen's passion and growth, just as a human, quite honestly, to want to come back. And I think it speaks a lot to the culture that we've built. Somebody doesn't just walk away and go, yeah, just come back, I got another year. She assessed, like, hey, man, this program's in a better spot than I left it, right? And I think she really sees there's an opportunity to be a part of something special this year, maybe even more special than we've had in the past, and that's going to be hard to top. But I think this is a group that has the maturity and talent, along with people like Helen and Kyra, to help lead us, back to Dallas-Fort Worth for a trip to the NCAA championships.
Put Karen in the back.
How's training going right now, and should we expect to see full floor routines on Saturday at the inter-squad?
Training's going great. Yeah, we're right on track, and we're just pacing a little bit. Just we want to be far enough along, but not too far. And so I think we're right on track with the kind of the timeline and the game plan that we set up this year. And yes, we should plan on seeing full floor routines. We may be using the resi for some of our kind of a softer landing surface for some of our maybe harder passes. But yes, you'll see full floor routines. Yep.
Go to the back of the stage.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about the #1 transfer class. What about your program do you think brought all those transfers in, and how excited are you to have them for this season?
Yeah. What brought them in? Well, again, I think similar to Helen, I think they saw an opportunity to be a part of something special. I think they've seen an opportunity to be, one thing we've done really well, I think, is develop and help people get better, right? They don't just come in great and then they just stay there. If they come in great, we're going to get greater, so to speak, right? I think they see an opportunity to advance themselves in gymnastics, be a part of a team that's got a shot to compete with the top half of the SEC and to compete at NCAA championships. So I think they saw those things. Now, with 3 of them, I had actually had some recruiting interactions prior to them going into college. And so that kind of helped bridge the gap a little bit right there. And we had a good relationship then. And we were just fortunate to have some really talented gymnasts, student athletes, along with some really great people. I think that really has been the kind of the cornerstone of us turning the corner. Is we've identified the right kind of person, the person that really loves gymnastics, really loves being a great teammate, and obviously has a certain amount of talent right there too. And we've not negotiated on those principles right there. And I think that's really helped us kind of turn the corner and then sustain success too.
The stage in the middle.
Coach, having Helen back, plus the transfer class, and then also the really talented freshman class you got coming in, do you feel like this is one of the deepest groups that you've had during your tenure here?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually just sent out a group message before I got here saying, hey, listen, we can't put everybody up this weekend at the intra-squad. So I did, and we got 14 spots on an event, so kind of 2 groups of 7 that were, and I've never had to do that for an intra-squad. I was typing that up, and I'm like, hey, we have to limit this, right? So for time purposes right there. So absolutely. Now, I think even though our freshmen are super talented, it's going to take them a little bit of time, right? And I feel fortunate that we have that time to develop them and not kind of put them out there before we're ready to be successful. Because as talented as they are, this is a different animal, as we all know, whether it's gymnastics or football or basketball. So we need to make sure we put them out there at the right time. I think you'll see more and more those freshmen make appearances more and more, and kind of throughout the season too on different events. But we'll put them out when they're ready to go and when they're ready to be successful.
Kyra, what's it kind of like being able to come back for your 5th year and being a leader to this transfer class and also the impressive freshman class as well?
I think I'm really fortunate to be able to come back. I came back because I wasn't ready to leave not only the team and the culture that we've built, but Mizzou and the sport. So, you don't see yourself as a leader, but every year is different, so we're just taking it day by day. And Shannon and the coaches have brought in some great people as well as gymnasts, so we're just super excited for this year.
Middle of the front row.
Just from an athlete's perspective, what is it about this team that makes it ready, as Coach says, to compete, to go to Dallas, to be ready for that stage?
I think, in the off season we've been focusing really on the details, and gymnastics is a huge part. That's what everyone sees, but also we've been focusing on our culture and what we've been building and making sure that we're not only great gymnasts but great people. And so if we're together as a team and unity and we're using all the things that we have built, that's what's going to make us stand out from other teams and what's going to propel us back to nationals.
Kyra, from I think it was your spring semester freshman year when NIL really got permitted in NCAA. So how would you compare the overall landscape of NIL from that spring semester of your freshman year to now? How has it changed and evolved?
I feel like that first semester it came out, no one actually knew what the rules were, what was truly going on. Now we have more of guidelines and we understand what's going on. So now it's really just building our brands and finding ways that we're going to utilize those. Lots has changed and it's different for every person, obviously, but I think we're really captivating on that.
Other questions for Coach Welker, Kyra?
What events are you going to be focusing on this season, Kyra?
Obviously, still bars, one of my favorites events. We're excited back there. And vault, been fortunate enough to get the opportunity to add back in beam. So we're training. That's a little bit more of a slow progression because it's been a minute. But mostly bars and vault, and then a little bit of beam in there. Sprinkle it in there.
Questions?
Yeah, how cool is that? 5th year senior, we're picking up an event in our 5th year, And don't let Kyra fool you, she is definitely a leader on our team. Yeah, so,
Awesome. See you guys at our open practice on Saturday at 10 a.m. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Kyra.
all right, thank you
Thank
all,
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.